Rhode Island and Providence have been trying to pick winners and losers for many years in industry. It doesn't really work. Sometimes political favors are called in and people get property that they shouldn't get. The city and the state should simply see that zoning is reduced to a minimum, that permitting is very quick, that there's a sundown law where once your paperwork is in, you know within 30 days whether it's approved or rejected. And the property taxes should be as low as possible, particularly the commercial property taxes. At that rate, then, you can have the free market essentially take over, and that the industries that want to come in will come in. They will be attracted because they will see that we have reasonable property taxes, easy permitting, and easy zoning. In addition, I am in favor of a municipal right to work ordinance. Half the states in this country have right to work laws. What that means is that people do not have to pay union dues. This helps people with their jobs, it helps people with their income, and it particularly attracts business. We would be the only ones in New England to do this, and that would make Providence really stand out at this particular time. I think that by a combination of these free market principles, we will be able to produce good tax-paying commercial properties along both the 195 land and in the old Jewelry District, or the Knowledge District as it's now called. Property tax stabilizations and exemptions should not be used at all. These have been used for political favors in this city for many, many years, and Providence has suffered greatly from them. We have all sorts of fancy deals done by all sorts of insiders, and that really would stop in a Harrop administration for mayor. I'm not opposed to working with companies that come in. For example, you could defer the property taxes for a number of years, but they would eventually have to be collected at a reasonable rate of interest as well. The city would therefore lose none of the property tax at that point. Likewise, I'd have no trouble in major projects, for example, the Superman building, of really taking a piece of the action, let's say, that we become a partner in them. We don't collect the property taxes now, but in 20 or 30 years, we could buy ourselves out. In this way, again, the city is not losing, even if it is deferring income at this point. The tax stabilizations have become a huge problem in Providence. True, we have many state buildings that don't pay taxes, but we have now many private buildings that don't pay taxes. There is no good evidence that this has helped the city financially, and I think the city needs to get back to collecting the taxes it's owed. It collects it from the people who own cars, it collects them from the people who have houses, it collects them from the apartment building owners, it should collect them from big commercial enterprises as well, and every penny should eventually be collected. There are two things we need to do to cut down on crime in the city. The first is we really need to restore police to the streets. We are down nearly 100 policemen since about 4 years ago. Mayor Taveras will brag that he avoided bankruptcy. But in fact, he avoided bankruptcy by cutting 100 police, cutting ambulance runs, raising taxes to the highest commercial rates in the nation. That was not appropriate. I still believe that the city is headed towards receivership, a form of municipal bankruptcy that will really reset our taxes and will really reset our income and pension plans. That will give us the money to first restore the 100 police to the streets. In addition, it will give us extra money in order to use more advanced techniques to really track crime in the city so that we know where police are. The second thing, which is easy to do and can be quickly done without finances, is rezoning. The zoning board and the licensing board really botched it over the course of the last 4 years, and those boards would be replaced in a Harrop administration. What we would do is see that Federal Hill, for example, goes back to being fine dining or family dining. I have no trouble with the clubs and the bars. They would be downtown near the other entertainment venues. They'd even have later openings, 4 a.m. openings, closings rather. That way people will be able to leave the bars at a later date in a more gradual fashion and not overwhelm the police that we have. The police are at the present time doing a wonderful job with a shortened staff, and I have no complaints. It's just that there are not enough of them. I believe that a Providence Renaissance second resurgence can be done by utilizing our world-class universities and colleges. One of the things that Providence has that many cities don't are really world-class educational institutions, some of which have been here for 2.5 centuries. They're not going anywhere. The city has, up until now, used these institutions and its faculty and students as piggy banks. They will come to them, they will demand money, they will want to balance their budgets over short term. These colleges and universities think not over a 4-year election cycle, they think over a century or more on what they will do. They want to partner with the cities. And as someone who's been on the faculty of one of these colleges for over 30 years, I know that as a fact. These educational institutions can help us not just repair our primary and secondary schools, which is absolutely essential for Providence to have a financial renaissance, but they can be used as sources of cultural institutions as well, provided we work with them as partners and we respect them for what they are and how long they have been here. I think that that is the way that we can go at this particular time. Our arts are clearly there. We still have our restaurants. The rivers are not going to be moved again. But we have institutions we have not used and have not partnered with. And that really is what we can do at the present time.